Okay, quickly on some federal issues. We've had a big week. President Trump signed the executive order to reverse the waters of the United States, commonly referred to as the WOTUS rule that the EPA had been pushing. That's a huge win. Basically, it's remanded back to the EPA that says you need to rethink this. It needs to be worked on before anything like that, and the huge power grab that it had would come forward. So President Trump has done that, and that's definitely in our favor. And many groups from Nebraska, probably 24, we're all part of helping lobby that particular effort, both under the former administration as well as with President Trump. Scott Pruitt has been confirmed as the EPA Secretary. I would say that we're pleased with that. I know that our folks, the people that I already talked about that are in Washington, D.C. right now, had a meeting where Scott Pruitt spoke yesterday. There were some questions about where we're going to be on some issues, and I know that there's a lot swirling around back there, but they're working on getting to the bottom, or at least to have an idea where the Trump administration is going to go on some other regulatory issues, specific to the EPA. Farm Bill. Downturn in the economy, some discussions back in Washington about budget bills, things like that. And the people ask us, like, is Farm Bureau at the table on the Farm Bill? And absolutely. Jordan Dukes, again, he's the director of our federal issues. He's part of an 8 or 9 member group put together by the American Farm Bureau Federation. In fact, Jordan's leading the charge on several components of how we're shaping what Farm Bureau wants to see in the next Farm Bill, with reductions in available financial resources. It's getting a little bit dicier. I don't think that's any surprise to anybody, either on this end of this webinar or those listening to this. But where we go with crop insurance and those sorts of issues, we're going to have, we do. We have our work cut out for us. I've been involved in several Farm Bill debates and development over my 25 years in this arena. Jordan has too. Farm Bureau has a lot of experts, but we're definitely at the table. Tax reform, the House Representatives has their proposal. There are some differences of opinion on that one, but that one, since President Trump has taken office, that discussion has gained more steam. One of the things that I specifically want to draw to your attention in that is that both on the House side and the Senate side, a repeal of the death tax or the estate tax has been introduced on both the House and the Senate side, and an action alert from us at Nebraska Farm Bureau went out to our members, encouraging all of you to weigh in on that, to urge our federal delegation to support those things. Trade, probably, I don't want to single one thing out, but I mean financially, trade is probably the biggest issue for agriculture. Because when you look at NAFTA and TPP and other trade agreements, the amount of agricultural commodities exported from this state is hugely significant. Jay Rempe did the calculation on TPP, and I think you all know the debate on these issues. President Trump has said that he's going to renegotiate NAFTA and get us a better trade deal with our trading partners with in the TPP arrangement, and that's great, and we want those things. But when you look at the profitability of agriculture and what trade means to this state, the dollars are sometimes almost unimaginable, but TPP alone, and it's smaller than NAFTA, but TPP would have generated an estimated $488 million a year in an additional income into Nebraska, specifically through trade. And agriculture is one of those industries, one of the few, that has a positive trade balance for the country. So we're focused on that. Had the opportunity yesterday to visit with the director of President Trump's political outreach arm of the White House. Had about a half-hour-long visit with him, and we had an excellent discussion about what trade means, and that overwhelmingly Nebraska supported President Trump as in his bid for presidency. But we talked about how agriculture needs his help on, if we go down bilateral trade agreements, that's fine, but we need to shore up trade, because it really significantly contributes to the overall profitability of agriculture, which benefits the state's entire economy. And then immigration. Immigration is in the news every day. We can talk about more of those, but I also am watching the clock. We're at 35 or 36 minutes into this. I want to be very respectful of your time.